Can the people at the back hear me?
Yes.
Imagine that you are on your deathbed. You're surrounded by your loved ones and you know that it's time. You want to say something that is going to be the last thing you ever say in your entire life because you know it's time. Now, in this situation, tell me, will you think about the introduction, body, and conclusion of what you have to say? Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. As someone who's very frequent on stage, I have started treating all of my conversations like their speeches. For example, I was trying to convince my mother to let me go on a trip with my friends. And while preparing my thoughts for it, I thought, I'm going to tell her the issue. I'm exhausted, I'm tired because I've been working hard. I'm going to show her the proof. My CGPA, right? And the certificates that I've gotten, along with the dark circles that make me look like a panda. And then I'm going to suggest her the solution. Me going on a trip with my friends to feel relaxed. Yes, I thought to myself, what a perfect structure. The problem, the proof, the solution, the introduction, body and conclusion. Well, I convinced her and I did go on a trip to the vegetable market to buy tomatoes. As I was fighting for my life to pick the right tomatoes in the vegetable market, a thought occurred to me, why didn't my structure work? What went wrong? What could I have done better? So as soon as I went back home, I googled the world's best speeches and I watched the first 3 speeches. And I've written a small speech that is inspired by those 3 speeches and I'll present that to you like a speech within a speech. Let me start off. I have a dream that one day my CGPA will be 9.5 and I will not have to study any further. I have a dream that I will wake up one day and all of my records will be written by themselves and I would not have to code with a pen and a paper. I have a dream that one morning I will walk into an interview and say good afternoon and get a 30 lakhs package with just that much. I have such dreams because 4 years ago I made a tryst with destiny and it is now time to redeem our pledge. Not fully, not wholly, but fully substantially. Because at the stroke of the midnight hour, an engineer wakes when the entire world sleeps. And the engineer remembers that there's a lab exam he's forgotten to study. Now, these are the struggles that engineers go through. And these struggles have been going on for far too long. Medical people think that engineers are lazy. Commerce students think that engineers are bookworms. Engineers work hard 4 years only to get placed for a 3 LPA job. This is injustice. I think that one certification, one resume, one LinkedIn account, and one chat GPT can change an engineer's package. Thank you. Now, that is not the end of my speech, don't clap. That was a short speech that I had written by taking inspiration from 3 very famous speeches. Namely, Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's A Tryst with Destiny, and Malala Yousafzai's One Child, One Teacher, One Pen, and One Book Can Change a Life. Now, these speeches, for those who are unaware, Martin Luther King gave this speech at the time where there was segregation on the basis of color. And he dared to stand in front of them and tell them that he dreams of equality. The Tryst with Destiny was given as a speech on the eve of the birth of a nation. And he asked us to acknowledge the generations of freedom fighters it took to get that freedom, while also looking forward, hopefully, into the future. Malala Yousafzai gave this speech after she survived a bullet to the head by the Taliban for trying to go to school. She survived the silencing bullet to rise and fight for the education of girls around the world. These speeches changed the world and have gone down in history. Now, it begs the question, why didn't my speech that I just made up have the same impact? I used their structure, I used their iconic lines, I even used their voice modulation. but I didn't get there. See, the body language, the structure, and the vocal variety of a speaker can be called the methodology of a speaker. And there is no denying that the methodology of a speaker, of these three speakers, was very important for their history to go down in the entire world. But I would like to think that their message was even stronger. The methodology helps a speaker make sure the message reaches the audience and stays there long enough to have an impact. But what is the use of perfect methodology if the message is not worthwhile? As a speaker, I believe that your methodology should be secondary. And the first thing that you should keep as a top priority is the message that you truly believe in. Now let me take you back to the thing that I made you imagine at the start of the speech. Imagine you're on your deathbed. You know it's time. You're surrounded by your loved ones and you're going to say the last thing ever in your entire life because you know it's time. However, this time, do not think about the intro, body and conclusion. Rather, make sure that what you have to say is something that is worthwhile. Make sure that what you have to say is going to have an impact on the people who are going to listen to you. Make sure what you're going to say is something you absolutely believe in. Do you believe in what you have to say? Toastmasters of the day.